defense on Edwards was a lot better in the second half and specifically the fourth quarter. What changed there, and kind of after what he had done to you guys previously in the series, was the mindset kind of just make somebody else besides him beat you?
Yeah, I mean, we went after him quite a bit. We beat the double team a few times, but we had good rotation to help side there. Took away some of the easy baskets at the hoop. And then honestly, it looked like we kind of warmed down a little bit with bodies, throwing bunch of different guys at him. Shots fell a little short, or took some tough contested side step backs, and then I assume leaning on Alpy in the fourth quarter affected him as well. So wanted to do it as a collective, and if you look at 37 points, obviously it sounds good, but 32 shots, 4 for 14 from 3, and really limited him from the free throw line in the second half.
Looks like you guys exchanged some words there after the buzzer. Can you share what was said?
Me and who?
Ian.
Good game.
I don't know if you envision playing Jabari 30-plus minutes, but what you like from what you got from him in his return?
It was something we thought about with Gobert being out. It's one of the favorable matchups for Steven, and we knew they play some small ball, so it'd be tough if we had to play Steven a ton. And so obviously you got Jabari that we can put at the small ball 5. And like I said before the game, his conditioning looked great in the 2 practices. It was a hand injury, so he could do all the work he needed to stay in shape. And he looked lively, and obviously confident with a shot. That's one thing you can kind of work on. That's the first thing he got back to doing, was shooting the ball. And so looked good in practice, conditioning looked good, and just monitored him throughout the game. And obviously with the foul trouble with Dylan and Tari and some of those guys, he got some extended minutes, but happy with obviously what he did.
There were a few times in the first quarter where Jabari was able to, I guess, kind of have like a release valve and those themselves and some blitzes. How important is he going to be going forward in terms of how to alleviate the pressure from other guys in the half court?
Yeah, the threat of his shot obviously is always there, but we moved him around a little bit. We could put him in the middle and like him to get the face-up shot there as well. And so he's had some success with that last year and earlier this year in zone. We like him in the middle. We like him obviously on the perimeter. And so from there, he got great crashing opportunities against the zone. So obviously a good thing to have, and a guy that's with his size that can get those shots off is helpful tonight.
You have multiple guys who can be lob threats in the half court and in transition, but is that something that you want to see more from Jabari, just especially when you're playing against smaller teams, where you can kind of use that verticality around the room?
Being a lob threat, him?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's there, it's there. We do got some high flyers, and wouldn't make him look normal, obviously. But no, he gets out and runs. It's something that's there for everybody. More so than anything, we want to convert in transition, where we struggle at times, being a little sloppy. So if the lob's there, take it. But I wouldn't say that's something specific for him. He runs for threes. He runs to the basket to finish, and however you get him, you get him.
What's the game plan for Jaylen to come out and get that many touches and be that aggressive?
Yeah, I think we liked. I mean, they put McDaniels on him, which was kind of trying to hound him the whole game. So we like to free him up and high screens to open up the floor. And so Reed and Garza, when he came in, we knew he could get downhill and attack those guys. And then we put Conley in some as well to get McDaniels off of him. And so when you're going to pick someone up that high, you saw with Tari when he beat Edwards and getting downhill a little bit, it opens up the court. If we set a nice high screen and they can't get under, and he's in attack mode. So we knew we liked that, and he's really had success against this team all year, even with Gobert in there in those same sets, and so repeated that.
You saw Jaylen and Alpy both have clutch shots in the last 2 minutes. Is that kind of ideal so that you don't have to necessarily depend on one player when it is going down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, they had it going. Obviously, Jaylen did. Alpy really got it going in the second half, and so which is what they've done quite a few times, to put Edwards on him and double team him, and so it frees up other guys, and it's just making the right play, whatever that happens to be. And so Jaylen carried over from the first half, in attack mode, and Alpy hit the big one obviously there, but they are the facilitators and the guys that get everybody else shots. So either they'll get a good look, or when the double comes, others have to be recipients. And so they got some kickouts that we missed. Minnesota did as well, but that's their job, obviously, being the 2 leading scorers for us.
You've got a dozen teams in the West fighting to get in or fighting for positioning. Are these the types of games that you guys have to expect for the next 26?
Yeah, for sure. Even before the break, kind of like I said, the little letdown with injuries and all that. What we talked about here is righting the ship and and expecting, this type of game, this type of environment, and playing meaningful basketball. And so, off to a good start. Obviously, we got another one tomorrow night, but that's what we talked about, is grinding out wins, or however we have to get them. Let's get back to. We loved our start, obviously, and they made a run to get right back in it, but liked our effort. It felt like we had some practices to get a little bit more crisp and sharp with some things, and however we have to get them, we've done it both ways this year.
Was that first quarter just a product of having fresh legs?
Yeah, it felt like, even when I said it yesterday, it felt like we had an actual practice. It felt like training camp again, to touch on some things and the liveliness that we had, and so had a good carryover into the start of the game. But talented teams, talented guys like Edwards aren't just going to obviously lay down, and they made a comeback and got it close by half, and it was back and forth from there. But we knew the break would give us a nice chance to rest up physically and mentally, and it looked like that when we came out in the first quarter.
What was it like getting Jabari back on the defensive side? We talked about his offense, but like, how different are you guys defensively when he's available?
Yeah, it gives us a whole nother look, especially with him at the 5. We can switch a lot of actions, put him on different people, and move them all around the court. So it's some luxury that we've had throughout last year. And when Alperen went down, we saw how good it is for us, and it was good to have that tonight, especially with a team that plays a lot more small ball, and especially with Gobert out.
Team shot 50% from 3 tonight. Was efficient 3-point shooting, and was this during All-Star break?
We shot, I'm sorry?
50% from deep.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we want to take those looks, and even the first half, it was really about turnovers. We had 10, and I think 9 in the second quarter, and we were shooting high number, 54 from the field, 56 from 3 at that point. We were just like, let's get the looks, and we know who's going to attract the attention. They don't have a ton of rim protection, so they flood the lane, and the kickouts were there. So we knew what we were going to get, especially with Gobert out and them not having him back in the paint, and knocked him down, fortunately, obviously.
Coach, during the next 2 months, you'll be fighting with other teams that they already have the experience to play postseason. I think this is the only team that is fighting to be back in the playoffs. In terms of experience, and how important is that factor for your team particularly?
Yeah, it is. It's something that we obviously lean on the veterans and the people that have been there. But what I did say to our group, in practice the other day, was this last 27 is going to be the hardest, probably in a lot of your young careers. We had a good taste of playing meaningful basketball last year when we were trying to squeak our way in, and then obviously all the games, you look at in-season tournament and certain things like that have given us some experience in these type of games. And so it's going to be a grind, 26, and everybody's trying to fight to stay out of the play-in or just make it into the play-in. And we know with the teams that are behind us, we have to see them, and these will be the type of games in this environment.
And what about the break? Did you find in your team when all the guys were back here? Not only the guys that were in San Francisco, the rest that could rest for a few days. What did you find?
Yeah, like I said, it looked great in practice. Looked like we had energy, got after it, and being conscious that we have a back-to-back coming out. Guys worked extremely hard, so as much as guys rested up, it wasn't just that. I think a lot of guys got some work in and looked very sharp coming back.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.